So for this graph, I'm seeing it doesn't look like it's been shifted up or down. To me, it looks like the axis of symmetry, or the midline. The midline is the x-axis, and I'm seeing an amplitude of 4. So then I got to decide, am I going to use a sine or cosine graph for this? They aren't telling me which I have to do. So some things I'm noticing here. I see typically a sine graph will start at the origin and then max out, come back down. And what I'm seeing with this one is this is also a sine graph that's been shifted to the left 1 unit. So that tells me it might be easier to use a sine graph. I mean, nothing wrong with using a cosine graph either, but because that crosses it at negative, what is it supposed to be? Let's see, it goes through the points negative 4, 0 and positive 2, 0. So that'll help us get the period. So I'm thinking I'm going to have a sine graph. I'm going to have it shifted to the left 1. I know the amplitude is 4. Now I'm going to decide on the period. Now, why they told us that it crosses through negative 4, 0 and positive 2, 0, I'm seeing that's a repeat. I'm seeing that that's where it does a full repeat. So that's the period. So that's a distance of 6, right? 6 units in between there. So 2 pi divided by 6 gives me a b number to put in front of everything is pi over 3. And that should, and because it's not shifted up or down, I don't have to worry about that. That should be the graph of that function. So for this graph, I'm seeing, see how the peak is up here, right at nicely at negative 1? And typically cosine starts on the y-axis unless it's been shifted. So to me, that says this is going to be a cosine graph shifted left to negative 1. So cosine x plus 1. I'm seeing an amplitude of 3. It's not shifted off the x-axis, so there's no up-down shift. So now we just got to figure out the b number in front of everything. So they're telling us that this graph hits negative 4, negative 3, and 2, negative 3, which if I look at that distance, now because that's the repeat, right? That's the period. That's how long it takes to repeat. So that's a distance of 6. So 2 pi divided by 6 is pi over 3. So that should be the b number. That should be the equation for this graph.